To part 2 of reacting to animation stories. This is where we are.
The drawers were locked, so I looked around and saw a paperclip on the desk. I started picking the lock with the paperclip. After constantly trying for a while, it finally opened. Yes, I whispered to myself. It was not something to be proud of, but I was happy. I opened the drawer, grabbed a copy of the test questions, put it in my pocket, and got ready to leave. I got out of the classroom, but now came the harder part. I had to sneak out without the guard seeing me. I walked back through the hallway near the exit door, but I made a silly mistake. I forgot to turn the flashlight off, so as I reached the door, I saw a man on the other side of the glass. I got spooked out and screamed. I thought it was a ghost. The door opened and he came in. It was the guard. He grabbed me by my collar and checked my pockets. He found the test questions. He must have figured out that I was a student because he didn't call the police. He called the principal. He took me to the principal's office to wait for her to arrive. I was so scared. My heart was beating out my chest. The principal arrived shortly and instantly recognized me as she got in. She knew that I was a straight-A student, so I had no need to steal test questions. She lectured me for a good amount of time and called my parents. She told them everything that had happened. They were so ashamed and disappointed for the first time. They requested the principal not expel me. She just gave me 2 hours of detention after school for 3 weeks. My parents apologized for the trouble, and then we left and drove back home. The next day, Phil and Addison met me in the hallway and they asked me what happened. The guard caught me, and now I have to stay in detention 2 hours after school, I said. We ran as soon as we saw the principal's car. You're not mad, right?
Yogo Canadian Harvest, made with Canadian blueberries. Harvested right here, which tastes real good for this guy here.
Phil asked.
Sorry about that, guys. My sister's just getting chocolate milk. She's so nice. She gets everything for me.
No, not at all. I'm glad you did, I replied as I...
And Theodore went to the bathroom. No, I'm back. Oh, I didn't notice.
I looked at Addison, who was also looking back at me. You're so cool, Blake, she said as she smiled. That was all I needed. I wanted to impress her, and I did. I smiled back at her, and we headed to our class. After the school hour was over, I was going down to the library for the detention. While I was walking through the hallway, Addison stopped me. Hey, stop, she said as she came walking from behind. I stopped and looked back. Skip the detention, she said. I got confused. I'll get in trouble, I replied. Bad guys get in trouble all the time. I like bad guys, she said in a quirky tone. I didn't say anything. I just looked at her. She spoke again. Date with me or detention? You choose. My heart leaped. She asked me for a date. I was beyond happy and excited. There was no way I was going to detention over that. So Addison and I left the school together for our date. The next day, I arrived at school. Addison was waiting for me outside. We went inside together holding hands. Everyone was looking at us and talking about us. I couldn't believe what was happening. The most beautiful and popular girl in school was my girlfriend. However, my moment was ruined as soon as it started, as I was called into the principal's office. I went to the office with a little fear. I knew what she was going to say. As I went in, she started to lecture me. Blake, how dare you skip detention? I gave you a chance. I'm calling your parents to come and pick you up. You're expelled, she said. I got a feeling like I would faint. I apologized and begged her, but she didn't listen. My parents came in and even offered money and some kind of fund, but she didn't accept it. I was expelled. We drove home. My parents didn't say a word to me because of their disappointment. Immediately, as we reached home, I went straight to my room and texted Addison. The principal expelled me, I wrote and sent it. I got an instant reply. She's a bitch. I smiled and put down my phone, but I got another text. Phil and the other guys are breaking in the state park tonight. You should come. It'll be fun, it read. I thought for a while. Will it be a good idea? I've just gotten expelled from school. But again, I didn't want Addison to break up with me and get with Phil or any other guy, so I decided to go. Sure, I texted back.
Now you really wanted. Okay, guys, sorry about that. My sister's just back.
In the evening, I sneaked out and headed toward the state park. Phil, Addison, and some other guys were already there. The gates to the park were closed and locked, so we walked around to get an easy wall to climb and jump in. After looking for a while, we found it. We climbed it one by one. I went first and jumped to the other side. Then Addison jumped. I caught her. Then Phil and the other guys also came in. We went to a spot and sat down. Phil had brought some beer with him. He handed one to everyone. I never had alcohol in my life, but I also took one just to impress Addison. But even before we opened the beer, we heard some
They
footsteps.
said they're
coming towards
gonna
us.
drink
We remained
alcohol.
quiet, but the footsteps came closer and closer. And suddenly, we had a flashlight pointed towards our faces. The men caught us and cuffed us. There were 2 policemen in the park guard. We were taken to the police station. Now I was scared out of my gut. I didn't want to face my parents. I knew that they would be furious. But the policemen called all our parents one by one. My parents came rushing in. I could see disappointment and worry on their faces. They talked to the police chief for some time, made a deal with them, and took me home. Nobody said a word throughout the ride, but instantly as we reached inside the house, my dad started shouting, "How many times are you planning to disappoint us in a day?" I was ashamed. "The next time you do something like this, you'll no longer be a part of our family," he said. I wanted to cry, so I ran to my room. After some time alone in my room, I heard a knock on the door. It was my mom. She came in and sat on the bed with me and started to talk. "You were such a good boy. What happened to you?" And the next thing, she burst out crying. I felt so bad seeing her cry. I hugged her and told her that I would never do anything that would disappoint her ever again. After she left the room, I deleted Addison's number from my phone. The next day, I got a ticket to a boys-only boarding school in another country and never looked back. Thanks for watching. Have you ever done something for your significant other that you didn't want to? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out the other interesting videos on the channel.
Make sure you do that to my YouTube channel too.
And next video.
And maybe we'll react to this one after. Bye. Bye, guys.